Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel and thank you so much for listening in the podcast. It is Sunday, March 17, 2024. I'm here to do a follow-up video regarding Michelle Troconis and her acting career that it seems as though nobody wants to speak about, not even her, meaning that before the trial began, when she was before even the trial began, we learned that information about her through her posting on her Twitter account and Instagram, and also through some of her family members. Okay. I gotta say before I continue, I do have the window open. That's why there's some noise that you can hear. I do apologize about that. I have to keep it open though for a little bit. So, continuing on. So I wonder why this whole acting career, very successful acting career that Michelle Trocanis had in Venezuela, was completely omitted from the information that came about her. So here's the thing though. We know that she's a horse riding instructor. She also does decorating. They also mentioned that she has her own business called Patagonia Styles and she loves interior decorating, marketing. She was the ESPN that happened years ago that was very spoken about, that she did a whole TV show for ESPN. And what else did she do? Marketing and trying to help real Fotis, right, the realtor, selling homes, and she asked to get paid to help another friend of them to promote the selling of one of their homes that they were selling or something like that because she has a lot of marketing experience. She also managed a hotel with her ex-husband, I believe, the father of her child, in and she was a professional skier or something like that, right? All of this information, but the acting career was completely omitted. And this is the thing that we have learned from Michelle Trocon is that she's very good at not telling you certain information. And I think there's a reason for that. And I'm like, you seek and you shall find. I knew there was more. When I came here and told you guys about the movie Juegos Bajo la Luna, and I was like, wow, she did a whole movie nobody's spoken about. Of course, there were more. I found out she was also part of another very big production that happened in Venezuela in the year 1999, which is even before Juegos Bajo la Luna, which was another big successful movie that happened. And this movie that I'm going to speak about was even bigger and she had a bigger part too. So it makes you wonder why all of this information has been omitted. And people can say, well, we don't want to, we don't want, she probably doesn't want to share so much from that past. Well, here's the thing though. There's a reason, like I said before, there's a reason why things come to the surface. And I knew when I learned about the first movie that I told you about a couple weeks ago, I knew there was more. Um, it's just I found it very odd for her dad when she was convicted, right? Her dad came on TV and said, I moved my family here. He gave the whole immigrant speech story. He came here for better opportunities. But like your daughter was a very successful actress already. So it makes you wonder what happened there. What happened that made them move all together to the US, to Miami? And I think it's very strange. It's almost like we're getting close to finding out something. There was something missing here. Why this whole movie acting career was completely omitted from all the information that we know about her. What happened here? Right? He wants to, the family wants to say, and the dad specifically, he said, I brought my family for better opportunities, for safety, for justice, the whole immigration speech. But it's like you would think they came here when they were like 4 and 5 years old. You know what I mean? Like it's so strange to me. It's so strange that also a lot of the Spanish news channel, they don't, they're not, I don't know how to say it. They don't want to even like no more. And the reason that I'm doing all of this about her is that even though she got convicted, even though she's going to be sentenced on May 31st, and this week on Thursday, there's going to be the contempt hearing, Michelle Troconis still owes something to us, right? She still needs to let us know what happened with Jennifer Dulo's body. She still owes us to confess and tell us the truth, right? So I'm trying to figure out what happened here. What happened that I mean, the movie came out in the year 99, 2000. So, how old was she? 26 or something like that? And she was doing all these successful movies with people who are very big in Venezuela and still very big people in the industry to this day. So, what happened here? It's not like she was an actress and couldn't make it, and they're like, okay, let's go to the US and find work there. It's almost like there's something that's not being told yet. And I think it has to do with her acting career. It's so strange that I even think that because the whole acting career is completely omitted from the information that we know about her. I also read an article, I don't know what year it was, that she did a jewelry line. She was doing jewelry with her best friend and creating jewelry and selling jewelry. So very artistic in that way, but the acting thing, and it wasn't just like she was having like these roles of behind the scenes or like marketing, producing, or like, having an extra part and like a cameo or like just appearing for a little bit in this movie. She has speaking lines in this movie that I'm going to tell you about, which is called Muchacho Solitario, which came out in 1999. Like I said, I do have the window open. Muchacho Solitario. It came out in 1999, produced by the one and only Ricardo Montaner, which is a very prominent, well-known Venezuelan artist for many years. He produced this movie. I think he actually wrote it also. And not only that, this movie, where Michelle Dragones has had a very prominent part in this movie, was also made for these very well successful singers. They're two brothers, their name are Servando and Florentino. I remember growing up in the Dominican Republic and then coming here and knowing about them. Very, very well known group called Servando and Florentino. And you can actually search for them if you're not familiar with the music. They're actually, let me tell you a little bit about who they are. They're huge and they were very big in their epic time. I think something happened with them also that in 2010, I believe they made their it's a rap album, kind of like this is gonna be the last album. But then recently in 2022, they began to tour again, and which happens a lot. It's almost like the Backstreet Boys and things like that. So Servando and Florentino, they're two of four brothers, and their father is also very well known musician, composer, and activist from Venezuela called, his name was Ali Primera, right? But the story with Fernando Florentino that I will never forget, even like, I don't even need to research this. I remember Ricardo Montaner kind of like pushing them into the stardom, right? They were part of another group though when they were younger. They started when they were very young. Fernando and Florentino, I believe the group was um, Sarcerin, right? It was like all kids group, and then Servando and Florentino were seen, and something happened. They joined the Ricardo Montaner, which is the other prominent Venezuelan musician, very well known. He actually took the two brothers under his wing, and they created an album in 97. And then in the year 1999, he wrote the movie Muchacho Solitario, which is basically translated um, lonely boy or lonely young boy or something like that. And In this movie, Michelle Troconis plays the part of Veronica. She's the love interest of Servando, one of the two singers here, the brothers. The movie is basically, I was just skipping through it, trying to find where Michelle comes in. The movie basically is about uh, something that they inherited out of all things a lot of debt, and they had to work hard to kind of pay that off. And then he sees Michelle Troconis as a character of Veronica, and she's rollerblading. I have some clips so you can see it. And if you're listening in the podcast, come to the YouTube channel so you can take a look. She comes in about 25 minutes into the movie. Servando Florentino sees her and immediately wants to talk to her. She's a little hesitant, and then she invites them to a party or something like that. They're celebrating Halloween at that party. He actually shows up, but then he noticed something about Michelle and her character that she's playing. I'm laughing because it kind of like, it's so weird how everything is tied up somehow. In the previous movie I told you about, Juegos Bajo la Luna, I noticed the little figurine that she's holding, which is the same guy that she had on her necklace during the trial. It is so strange. Please bear with me, okay? And then in this movie, the love interest of Veronica, which is the part that Michelle Troconis was playing, after he finally gets time with her and they're dancing this big Halloween party, he's asking her, "Hey, you want to basically come hang out with my cousin and their girlfriends?" And then she said, She actually says, I don't. I like your cousin, but I don't know about that girl. She looks like very marginal, like this and the other." He actually gets offended with Veronica, which is who Michelle Draconis is playing, and she said, "How can you say that about somebody you never even spoken with, you never even talked to?" And something about everybody, like class and money doesn't mean anything. People are people, this and the other. And then he actually leaves her for somebody else. But that's after like her big part in this movie. And you're gonna see it. It's so crazy to me, right? It's almost like, even though she was so pretty and so enticing, there was something about her that he immediately was like, "I want nothing to do with you." Okay, quite strange, all of that, right? But anyways, it's a movie, right? So that's the movie that she played in this, the part that she played in this movie called Muchacho Solitario. Once again, here's the thing though. I find it very odd, very interesting that this whole movie career of hers was never even mentioned, right? She is an actress, a very well oiled, very well experienced actress. So this whole, when you see, right, when you see the family, what we saw during trial, very camera friendly, right? They're very camera friendly, and almost like she was walking, like a lot of the times that you will see her walking through, though probably towards the end before the verdict came in, they were like recording her coming in, right? It's almost like there was a pridefulness, like I said before, pridefulness about this whole ordeal. There's nothing to be prideful of, right? Even if you believe you're innocent, there's nothing to be prideful about being accused of murdering somebody or conspiring to kill somebody. There's nothing to be proud of about that. But then you will see them, kind of like bringing Michelle into the courthouse and like being kind of like proud to be around her, and oh, look at all these camera crews being here. I guess they can think it's for her, and it's like, but she is actually accused of murdering somebody. Do you guys understand that? And then her dad is giving the whole sad immigrant story. Well, she's a very well-known actress, and why is all this information being hidden? That's the thing that I don't get. It's almost like there's something here that happened. I think, I'm not trying, I'm definitely searching, trying to figure it out, but I feel like what happened here? Why is, it's like, okay, I don't want to, It's not like she had little parts. She had like big parts in these productions. I mean, to be team up with Servando and Florentino in that year, in the year 1999, the year 2000, to be um, putting in a movie produced by what the one and only Ricardo Montaner, that's huge. If you guys are familiar with artists from Venezuela, specifically Ricardo Montaner, or even back then in their peak, I guess you can say, of Servando and Florentino, it wasn't just Venezuela. I do apologize for the noise here, but it wasn't just Venezuela. It was like the complete Latin America, and including the US also, because there's a lot of people from Latin America living here. So I just find it very odd that this whole part was submitted. I find it very odd that in the Latin press, she's also being called just a psychologist. Have you guys noticed that when you search in the Spanish news? I guess I can say she's called a psychologist. Like it's almost like not even in Venezuela. There's not even like the news, like, because I know she was born in Tennessee. That's what the artist's friend said about her on his Instagram, that she was actually born in Tennessee, right? But the media has said a lot of the times Venezuelan psychologist Michelle Troconis. But if you want to talk about her as a Venezuelan, how come you're completely omitting the part that she was a prominent art actress, excuse me, from the year, from early year, working with big, you know, with big prominent people in the acting scene in Venezuela. Juegos Bajo la Luna, that movie was huge. Some people call it one of the best Venezuelan movies ever made. And then, excuse me, and then you have a movie like Muchacho Solitario, produced and written by Ricardo Montaner, and having Servando and Florentino acting on it. That's also like, that's a huge production. And she had, at least in the second movie, this one, the Muchacho Solitario, she had a big part, a very big part. And for them to completely omit that, I think there's something odd here. And what have we learned from Michelle, right? When she was questioned, it is something that the prosecutor actually said. She mentioned everything she bought at Stop and Shop that day on the 24th, May 24th. She mentioned everything. She mentioned how she saw the robot, how she bought cilantro, and what they have for dinner, everything. And then she forgot about the chimney fires, right? And then she omits stuff. That she forgot about to mention that they went to Albany Avenue to throw out the trash bags. Excuse me. I feel like there's a reason why she omits stuff, and she's doing that on purpose. She has done it on purpose. And why this whole acting career has been omitted, it's not like it was from what I seen, it's not like it was a failure of a career to be like, I don't want them to even mention that. If you're mentioning ESPN, that show that you did, and you're mentioning things from way back also, why not mention all this other stuff? What happened there? What happened there that the whole family kind of like left the country? What happened there? I feel like there's a reason for that. Anyways, here's some of the information, the images that I was able to grab from the movie. Let me know what you guys think about this. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel and listening to the podcast. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.